My name is Anita Lloyd and I'm Executive Director of Stride. This past year, Stride has undergone considerable change with the redesign of our worksite training program and the development of our new pre-employment services. Today's video will highlight many of the clients that we have supported over the past year. We hope you enjoy listening to their stories as they talk about their experience with Stride and share their journey to reaching their employment goals. Thank you.
How did I hear about Stride? I had a friend that came to Stride and they encouraged me to come because they said it would probably help me with the needs that I needed at the time. And so that's how I heard about Stride.
The goals we set were like baby steps and slowly integrating back into, getting a job and getting on a time schedule and making sure that we were responsible for being there on time and just slowly working back into getting ready to start working out in the community again.
I was looking for supports. I was kind of, because I did a lot of research on sort of mental illness and, I realized sort of where my limitations were. But also my strengths. So I just wanted encouragement in terms of recognizing that it's okay to have a mental illness. And, I can succeed in the workplace, but it's sort of at my own level.
Definitely help making my resume and preparing me for interviews and looking for the job. And I say just, support overall, just communication.
Be grounded so I'm not floating off into 10 different things. Like you said, it's like you've got 10 things going here, which one do you want to work on? So, and I have a challenge with really honing in on something and completing it, because something else comes up, oh, that sounds great, next thing I'm way over here, I'm still in the first step over here. So he's helped me focus in and actually follow through with different actions. So it's really nice that I've got someone there holding me accountable to do that.
The difference between when I first came and now, I didn't even know what I was going to do. I think most of the initial conversations that Crystal and I had were just her saying, we can do this and there's a way around this. And I was like, I can't. I don't have any choices here. I'm just going to, get a cardboard box and live under a bridge because I'm never going to work again. I honestly could not see past, where I was. Absolutely. And even going back to work, I couldn't even picture what that would even look like because my job is stressful and there's a lot of expectations.
I think what's important is what Jen keeps helping me with is making sure it's not just about the job, it's about my personal self-care and well-being on a continual basis. That's been helpful.
Definitely finding a job and making my resume, structuring it so it's easy to read and making sure all the spelling is right.
Actually, pretty much every time that I wanted to connect with them and communicate with them, whether it be just a text message or a phone call, Marcos has always been there. So I feel very supported and in strength when I'm connecting with them.
Jen helped in a lot of ways, getting me involved in programs and groups and activities and getting me outside of my comfort zones and trying to think outside of the box and not always taking things so harshly, looking at it as more of you can't control people for things they do. You just kind of have to accept it, and it's all about how you react to things rather than what they do to you.
I was employed at Tim Hortons in 2017 and I stayed there for about a year, and then I got another job at St. Louis Bar and Grill about last September, I think, and I've been working there since.
It was a very safe environment. I felt a connection right away with my peer support worker as well as my employment connections worker. in terms of also just recognizing that they've been through some of what you've gone through before, so they can understand and non-judgmental in terms of having a mental illness, and just giving the support and encouragement that you can succeed in the workplace, and just recognizing where should you go from here in terms of next steps, realistically given sort of your situation at that time.
Be honest, be clear and transparent to the person that's with you, because they can assist you the absolute most when they know where you are and how you're feeling, versus trying to hide something, whether out of ego or trying to protect yourself. Stride's here to support you, so just be transparent. That's the best thing I can suggest for anybody that wants to come work with Stride.
The biggest support that I received for my return was the initial plan, and really having Crystal explain to me what was necessary to go into that plan, like sort of legally, because we didn't have any support from my employer. They didn't really know what to do, and also going through the accommodations, figuring out what I might need, and some of the challenges that I should expect to face going back.
Well, especially with the Get Into program that I just did with the youth employment program, my worker was very much available. Like, she made all the effort to come and see me on my first training shift, even though I was the furthest one away from where she was at the time. And she's been really helpful in making sure that I can get through the issues and the problems that I've seen with starting my new job, and helping me find ways to deal with those things that, again, I don't have entire control over. There had been times initially, especially right after I went back to work, where I just couldn't handle it, and I would just be having a really, really, really tough time, and I would text her or call her and just say, I don't know what to do, or I'm really, really struggling right now, and she would always be there. If she didn't answer the phone, I would hear back from her very, very quickly.
Absolutely. Certainly, having been assigned individuals to deal with me, address the things I needed, and having those people dedicated has been very helpful, making sure there's always a single point of contact. And they've always been reachable, certainly flexible in their schedules. And even now, since I'm working a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 job, meeting after hours have been very accessible in that regard.
The positive impact that Crystal's made on my life is astronomical. Like, before I came to Stride, I honestly thought that I would never work, certainly never be able to go back to my job that I had, but she was nothing but supportive and helped to teach me that I can be successful, and that it's okay to ask for what I need, and also at the same time to manage the boundaries, so that like my mental health and my wellness actually comes first, not my employment.
Well, there was a few weeks into when I first started working at Tim Hortons, and I was feeling really nervous about the job and my bosses, and I don't remember what time of day it was, but it was a time of day when I wasn't expecting a quick response, and so I texted you just to talk about how I was feeling, and you were there, and you told me it would be fine.
When I'm able to overcome a barrier and move past some of the plateaus that I've experienced, it's like exhilarating, because you just can't see on the other side, and then suddenly you're there, and it's like climbing a mountain, and you just look down and you can't believe how far you've come.
Whether it be assessments, whether it be kind of just understanding strengths and weaknesses, whether it be sort of just volunteering or getting sort of involved in sort of pre-employment initiatives, and just kind of getting a better understanding of yourself in terms of what you're capable of, and where can you be in the future. And sometimes that has to be also revised. It's always ongoing, because there's always new sort of jobs that are cropping up with new technology and stuff, and it's just being able to handle that uncertainty and that whatever obstacles come your way, that you can handle it, and giving you that self-confidence.
Because I think it's because they listened to what my needs were and what my limitations were, as far as health goes, because I have injuries and I have health issues, and what I could manage, right? Because I can't work full time. And they took the time and they matched me up with the right employer, and and I enjoy what I do.
I think it transforms lives. It makes you realize that you're capable of more than what you thought you could be, and realizing that you can make a difference in the community and giving you that self-confidence and awareness of yourself, and just recognizing that you do have a mental illness, but it doesn't have to define you. You can be the person who you want to be and shine in the workplace.
Two things. One, not to make the same mistake that I made 16 years ago of seeing counseling for 2 years and say I'm fixed and I'm all good, because I recognize now it is a continuous road of recovery. So seeing this ugly face on a regular basis, well, something hopefully that Stride will be open to. That is one thing. And the other thing is taking every opportunity really to sing the accolades of Stride and what they do and what they can provide, and really help people move forward and feel self-empowered and self-fulfilled.
When you can wake up in the morning and feel comfortable in your own skin and have a confident space of being, knowing that you're, pun intended, striding forwards comfortably and you know where you're going, then I'd say that's successful, that you're successful. You're fulfilling a purpose in your life. That's success. Whether that be healing or raising a family or creating a bit, whatever it may be, you've got a purpose and you're striding for it, you're successful.